Hi there, welcome to another edition of DesignSpark Ask the Expert. Today we're going to be talking to Siemens and I'm going to be talking to Pamela Pacheco. Hi Pamela, welcome to DesignSpark.
Hi, Greg. Thank you very much for having me.
So Pamela, we're going to maybe take a different route on some of the usual Ask the Expert. So we're going to be talking about the Logo 8, but underlying that we're going to be talking about ESG agendas and sustainability and how Logo 8 actually from the product value chain lives those lives those dreams, but also in terms of the application of the Logo 8, and you can see how that these can be used in sustainable applications. So I just want to start. What specifically about sustainable initiatives or goals does Siemens have in place, and how does that actually relate to the Logo 8 in terms of the product line, and how do you actually contribute to those efforts?
Yeah, well, Siemens has a comprehensive set of sustainability initiatives and goals aligned with its commitment to environmental stewardship, like Siemens ESG, which refers to environmental, social, and governance practices, such as reducing carbon emissions, promoting diversity and inclusion, and ensuring transparency and accountability in business practices. So, to gain further clarity on how we will achieve those goals, Siemens has developed a framework called Degree, in which Logo participates in two categories: decarbonization and resource efficiency. And this is how we contribute to these sustainable efforts.
Fantastic. So, in terms of how does Siemens ensure that the sustainability is integrated into the supply chain, the manufacturing process, and particularly concerning why they use products like the Logo 8? What strategies does Siemens employ to communicate both the sustainability of Logo 8 and potential customers and stakeholders?
Yeah, well, I would say that Logo can help to achieve Siemens sustainability goals in two ways. The first one is what Logo can do. And with this, I mean like the use cases that can be developed with Logo as a controller. And for example, something that comes to my mind is like energy efficiency, resource conservation, and digitalization. And with digitalization, I mean, of course, offer remote access so we can reduce travel expenses and also reduce CO2 emissions and so on. And the second part is the product itself. We have a document called EPD, Environmental Product Declaration. And in this document, we provide information on uh, how is the environmental impact of Logos production. And we
Mhm.
also have a new label created by Siemens called Ecotech Profile, and this label provides information on how sustainable a product is. And this is how we communicate the sustainable benefits to our stakeholders and partners and include them in these initiatives, because thanks to these documents and all the information that they provide, they can make better purchasing decisions. They can be prepared for upcoming legal requirements of their end customers. They can set their own sustainable KPIs, and also we can help them to meet those goals with our products.
Okay, that's interesting to hear as well. I mean, you picked up on there on the remote access, saving time and cost for traveling expense as well. But in terms of remote access, and that also makes the product um, much more what's the word I'm looking for here? Much more kind of reliable in terms of it's fixed and you can access this remotely, so you can make
Mhm.
real time changes. You don't actually have to go to the product all of the time. And in terms of time alone, that can save a lot of time, a lot of money, for example. So it's not just
Mhm.
also the sustainable angle that you're coming from here; it's the practical angle as well. With that, I
Mhm.
would imagine, right?
Exactly. Yeah, not only flexible, but also yeah, can be like more transparent and so on.
Okay. So could you highlight some of the key sustainable features from Logo 8 product line then?
Yeah, sure. For example, in the eco tech profiles, Logo holds advantages in five categories. The first one is minimum material use. We have reduced 30% our volume, 10% our weight, and we replace a CD that we had for information within the web server, which saves more than 3,000 kilograms of plastic. Then we have also sustainable packaging category. all plastic insert has been removed from our product. We also increase temperature range during operation to avoid condensation, which makes logo a maintenance-free product. And this give us an advantage in the durability category. We also offer all our firmware updates provided via software, so our customers don't need to buy something, a USB stick, anything, absolutely anything. They can just download it and update their product. And this is within the updatability and maintenance category. And the last one is ease of disassembling. The avoidance of screw allows for easy, quick, and non-destructive disassembly supporting circular economy.
Okay, that's really interesting to hear that, the length that you've actually gone to look at this product line. But I would imagine you're doing that across multiple product lines. But the thing that really stands out there for me in terms of some of the figures there you were talking about is the reduction in plastic waste. And I never really thought about this until you've just mentioned that there, with actually removing the need for having a CD within the product. So obviously those plastic cases which come with every CD, and you're talking about 3,000 kilograms saving just on raw material of plastic. But then also the reductions that you're making with the materials that you're using on the product line itself, and the weight, for example. The other thing that you mentioned there that I really did pick up on was the circular economy. It's something which I've been researching quite a lot. And at the time of manufacturing a product, if there was a little bit of foresight about how products could be disassembled and potentially reused, it sounds like you're really covering that aspect of this as well. So it's not just one area where you're actually making improvements. It's right across that whole supply chain, the product life cycle, all the way through to potentially end of life and recycling with the circular economy that you mentioned. So that's really great to hear that. And I think, from a product perspective, those benefits, are really going to be passed on to both the user and also obviously the environmental implications as well. So I just want to talk about another area about sustainability in terms of energy efficiency. How does the Logo8 contribute to energy efficiency? Are there any notable case studies or success stories that you could share with us?
Yeah, sure. But before I answer, I would like to just make a parenthesis to retake a comment you just did, and this is about circular economy. It's quite complicated to connect the dots between all the companies that we need to really make this circular economy. But we are really working on that. We are willing to connect the dots and connect ourselves with other companies to really make this in a proper way to really help the planet and the future.
Fantastic.
And thank you. And now talking about the use cases, I mentioned these three contribution or use cases. I'm going to start with the energy efficiency, and I'm going to start talking about a very classic use case: energy consumption. Let's imagine that we have the government of any given city, and they would like to measure the energy consumption of the street lights. And those are measured by a Centrum Pack module. The pack forward the relevant energy values to Logo, like real energy, reactive and apparent energy, or energy demand per period, and many more. And those values are going to be evaluated by Logo. And if they are out of range, Logo will immediately send an email alarm. The end user can react to this alarm immediately and can connect to Logo remotely via the Logo SIM module and check the energy values and even take decisions based on the information that they can see, and change the values of some variables. For example, turn off a specific part of the system. And then at the very end, the alarm can also be recognized on site thanks to the HMI Logo TDE. The huge advantages are that we reduce maintenance workload, detecting defective energy sources. We increase transparency, of course, and we reduce traveling costs, controlling the stations remotely. And this is the first one. For the second one, for the resources, I am going to talk about a success story that we have. This is for a use case of water management with cloud connection. This project was implemented by the Belgium government for water management of the whole country.
Mhm.
They have several control stations along the country, and each station has a logo, and all of them are connected to the cloud, where they have a dashboard and they can monitor and control all the stations. Logo has two automation tasks. The first one is the water distribution, and the second one is like monitor the water quality and the oxygen level. So
Mhm.
Logo is also controlling the aeration system, which depends on the variables that I previously mentioned. And each station has also a Logo SIEM module, which enables the connectivity to the cloud. Belacqua is the company who developed this project, and they gave us a really great feedback. They reduced travel efforts and expenses because of the remote monitoring. They achieved the level of transparency that they really wanted, and they can offer a very high quality service because they can provide like a support, and they can react quickly to any malfunction regardless of the distance of the station that has the malfunction. And the third use case is actually an official use case, and that's the reason why I have a very fancy but a long name: remote monitoring of distributed machines for simple automation tasks. And for this use case, we have in mind the owners of vending machines. That it's very trendy business model. So each vending machine can have a logo to control the machine operation. If the machine has a failure, Logo will send immediately an email alarm. And this is a feature that I keep promoting because it's one of the new ones of Logo 8.4, our latest release. And then with Logo Theme, each machine can be cloud connected to monitor any malfunction and check it in the cloud dashboard, but also to collect the data of the sold products. And this takes us to the very next level of digitalization, because now we not only offer machine flexibility, business scalability, and the possibility to reduce downtimes, but we also are offering to know the customer preferences per machine, which of course this can change depending where the machine are. So the vending machines companies can do smart restockings. They can plan their production ahead, or their third-party purchases of the products. They can also like plan the most efficient restocking route um, to restock the machines, and this can of course helps to again reduce CO2 emissions.
No, I think you nailed it there. In terms of those three use cases, all slightly different, but all pertaining to the same thing, is about the flexibility of the system to actually monitor and measure, but then also to be able to react in real time. You were talking about dashboards there, for example.
Mhm.
Just on the water management one, that's really interesting for me, because in terms of what you were talking about there, this really is, you're getting into national utilities here. Which are serving people, the consumer on a daily basis, an hourly basis, every minute of the day. But the thing that you mentioned there about the water quality, I hadn't really considered that before. I would imagine, for Logo 8 controlling the water itself, but not actually the quality that you were talking about, the aeration of the
Mhm.
water, etc. So that really is kind of an eye opener for me. I hadn't really considered that, so I really do appreciate you mentioning that use case. It really does kind of shine a light onto how what you're doing in terms of the product itself, but in terms of obviously the sustainability, both within how the product's manufactured, but then also how it's actually helping communities to live that better life, if you like.
Yeah, yeah, and this is just one example of the resource conservation, but of course we can develop many more. This is just in the water branch.
I just want to finish by asking about, you know, how does Siemens plan to continue advancing its ESG goals and integrating sustainability into its product offerings, both including the Logo 8, but also in the years ahead? What do you see is on the horizon for this?
Well, there is still a lot to do. We will continue investing in R&D to innovate new technologies and solutions, and that prioritize sustainability always. We also want to engage with customers and raise awareness of the importance of sustainability and promote the adoption of sustainable practices and technologies as well. And this includes provide training, resources, and support to help customers maximize the sustainability benefits with Logo in their operations.
Fantastic. Pamela, it's been great talking to you today and hearing about the logo itself, because we know that that's a very popular line in the world of industrial automation, for example. But the lengths that Siemens have gone to consider not just the product itself, but the whole supply chain into the product, the materials used, how it's packaged, and then also, moving to the recyclability of the product, how you actually construct the product together. But those user cases that you shared with us, I think they will ring in a lot of our viewers' minds as actual real benefits that can be designed in at the beginning of any kind of application or within infrastructure. So thanks again for taking the time, Pamela, and I hope we can see you again on DesignSpark real soon.
Yeah, thank you, Greg, and have a nice day.